Hey guys, Fragner22 here, and welcome to my August 16th DVD update. It's been just about a month since the last DVD update, so I'm going to show all the DVDs, Blu Rays, and TV box sets that I've gotten within the last month, and of course this is a huge haul, so I need to hustle and start showing you guys everything. The first one that I got is from Shout Factory. This is the first season of Hey Dude, probably one of the most sought-after television shows from Nickelodeon's heyday, as well as one of the most, desired unreleased shows on the format. It's like been on TV shows on DVD.com's top 10 list of unreleased DVDs, TV shows rather, for the past 5 years, so it's pretty awesome to finally see this out in a manufactured format, so pretty awesome. The next one I got is a double feature from Shout Factory. This is an action-adventure double feature of Butch and Sundance, The Early Years, and Death Hunt, Charles Bronson film. Keeping with the Charles Bronson theme, I picked up the first ever Death Wish, which surprisingly is a film from the 70s that I had never seen up until a few weeks ago, and I'm happy to say that I really enjoyed it. Really cool 70s vigilante action film. Good stuff. Next one I got is the first Blu-ray of this update, and it was a Walmart exclusive for like $10, and this is the Blu-ray edition of It's a Mad, 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 Mad World. I haven't watched this yet, but from what I've read, the PQ and the audio quality on this is actually pretty awesome. So I'm really excited to get it cut into this film because I've heard it's a lot of fun, and I just went on a vacation from work, so I'll be catching up on a lot of films in this update over the next week. The next one is another Shout Factory title. This is just an odd one that I thought looked pretty cool. This is the 25th anniversary special edition of Trouble in Mind. It's kind of like a neo-noir-esque film from the mid-80s. I believe it's 1985, so I don't know a whole lot about it past that, but it just looked kind of cool, and it's from Shout Factory, so that's enough for me to take a chance on it. The next ones I got is the first animated TV box set of this update, and this is the animated series of Cops, and following that I scooped up Volume 2, which is in a 3-disc set of Cops, and I mainly got this because Shout Factory's license on this show is actually expiring, and I believe Cookie Jar or Echo Bridge is taking it over to complete the series in September, so I wanted to get all the episodes I can from, the better studio being Shout Factory, so I'm happy I scooped them up now before they're long out of print and fetching higher prices. The next one I got is really cool. I never watched this as a kid or even remembered it, but this is obviously to coincide with the new Conan the Barbarian film out this week, so this is the animated show Conan the Adventurer Season 1, again from Shout Factory. Like I said, I had never heard about this, but it looks like a lot of fun. I really enjoy the original movies. That's kind of a lie, because the second one sucks. The next one is again from Shout Factory, and this is a very highly anticipated Season 2 release of Dennis the Menace. Really good show. Happy to have that. They're really starting to push these out pretty quickly. Season 3, I think, is already scheduled for October, and these are like 5 and, about like 5 DVD sets that they're keeping up with, so that's, you're getting a lot of content on these seasons. The next one I got is from Code Red DVD, and this is probably their most anticipated DVD release to date. It's been in the works for countless years, and finally it's here. This is the 30th anniversary edition of the uncut version of Nightmare. I kind of thought going into this that this film was going to really not live up to all the expectation that it's kind of built itself up with over the years, but I'm actually happy to say that it definitely meets it. I think it was a really odd and really cool, kooky slasher film from the early 80s, so yeah, if you're interested or curious about this by any means, I would definitely take a chance on it, because this is, by far Code Red's most anticipated title to ever be released, so whenever this does go out of print, it's definitely going to fetch some really high prices, so get it now while you can. Referring back to Shout Factory, Shout Factory's entire licensing of the Deke animated properties is going to expire at the end of the year, so just a few weeks ago they were having a big sale on their website and selling a lot of the box sets of those animated programs for dirt cheap, so I wanted to scoop them up. The first one that I got from that bunch was Captain N, the Game Master, the complete series. And while this show is cool, it's a little bit of a lie because the next box set that I got is actually Captain N and the New Super Mario World. And from what this basically is they basically took two of the programs at the time and kind of combined them to add even more interest. So this is technically the third season of Captain N. So yeah, that other box set isn't exactly complete unless you have this one too. Moving on, I got the complete series of The Adventures of Super Mario Bros. 3. I never watched any of these animated adaptations of the video games, but I definitely remember them being on. So, I think I got this for like $15. It's 3 discs, I believe, and it's the entire collection. So it's cool to just have these properties, because I'm sure that whoever picks up the licensing is not gonna give them as good a treatment as Shout did. So it's cool to get them while you can. The next one I got was The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog and The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I did get the third one, but that came a few weeks after I got these, so you'll see that a little later on in the update. The next one I got is a Blu-ray, and this is rounding out my Spielberg Blu-ray collection up to this point. This is the Digibook of The Color Purple, which is actually a film that I like quite a lot, and I feel like it doesn't really get the praise that it kind of deserves because it's not your typical, fare that a lot of, Spielberg enthusiasts like. It's not in the vein of, like, Jurassic Park or E.T. It's definitely more on par with something heavy like Munich or Schindler's List, but it's a really, really good film. It's based on the Alice Walker book of the same name, so yeah, it's a really great film with awesome performances. The next one I got was a exploitation film that I've been dying to see forever, so I finally picked it up at the Exhumed Films showing where they did the Go 8 marathon, where they showed all 5 Planet of the Apes films in 35mm, so I scooped up the limited edition of Thriller, A Cruel Picture. This is just one that, like, it's kind of a shame that I haven't seen it, because I've just known so much about it, and it's just one of those really, like, unforgiving exploitation cult movies, so I'm really excited to check that one out. I'm definitely going to get to that this week. Another recent Code Red release is one that I was personally looking forward to for a while. It's got Sybil Danning in it and seems really badass. This is Julie Darling. Looks like a lot of fun. This is the 50th spine-numbered release that Code Red's put out. So, yeah, Sybil Danning was a ton of great movies. Battle Beyond the Stars, Chained Heat. So she's really left her mark on cult exploitation cinema as well. Next film is from Shout Factory's Roger Corman, called Classics line, and this one has actually become one of my favorite releases from that line. This is actually Street Walkin' with Melissa Leo, who just actually won an Academy Award this past award season for her role in The Fighter, and this also has Dale Midkiff from Pet Sematary. He was the father in that, and this is awesome. It takes place with prostitutes in the 80s, Times Square. It just got some really, really awesome production value in this that is just, showing like a bygone era of New York. It's really awesome. The performances are surprisingly incredible in this one for an exploitation film. Dale Midkiff is unbelievably insane, and Melissa Leo is awesome. For an early film like this, you can really see her shedding her acting chops really early, so it's cool to see that she won an Academy Award so many years later. The next one I scooped up just from, my friend telling me about this one, and I'm happy that I did, because I absolutely fell in love with this film. This is actually a double feature, but not really. It's a double feature of Night of the Demon and Curse of the Demon. And Curse of the Demon is actually just the U.S. cut of Night of the Demon. Night of the Demon is the true full 95-minute UK cut, and that's, of course, the one that I watched, and it's a incredibly good film. Awesome atmosphere, really spooky, and just really great, like, noirish performances in this one. It's like $7.95 on Amazon, and for that price, I think every horror fan should have this film in their collection, because it's really killer. I scooped up a bunch of these MGM Midnight Movies double features because from time to time I really like to beef out my collection of those films. So I scooped up a lot that were like dirt cheap. They were like $5 or a little more. So the first one that I got was The Monster That Challenged the World and The Terror from Beyond Space. This is one that I haven't watched yet. A lot of them I haven't watched. I think I've only watched like one film so far out of the bunch that I got. The next one I got is The Comedy of Terrors and The Raven. Got some really great classic horror stars in that, including Vincent Price and Boris Karloff. The next one I got here is Invisible Invaders and Journey to the Seventh Planet. I do believe that one was like $5. Bear with me as I stretch over and grab the next set of films I gotta show you guys. This is actually the true last Spielberg Blu Ray that I needed. I made a mistake. The color purple was the second to last one, but this is the last one that I needed up to this point in time. This is the Sapphire series Blu-ray edition of Saving Private Ryan. Really, really great and hardcore war film. I love it. Next bunch of Blu-rays. Again, coinciding with the upcoming remake coming out. These two just got put out on Blu-ray. It's Conan the Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer. Like I said, Conan the Destroyer, it's definitely a lackluster sequel. Conan the Barbarian is definitely where it's at. It's definitely the far superior Conan film, but I'm willing to give the new one a chance. I'm gonna go see it. The next two Blu-rays are catalog titles, but I really enjoyed these films. This is the Barry Levinson film Sleepers, which is one that I really have to recommend a lot. Not many people know about this one, but it's got a killer cast. Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Brad Pitt, Jason Patrick, Dustin Hoffman, Billy Crudup. Really, really great film based on true events. I highly recommend checking that one out. And a really cool serial killer movie with Sigourney Weaver in it called Copycat. This is a pretty graphic movie that I grew up watching. I really dig it. It really gets into the whole psychology and whatnot of serial killers and stuff. So if you're into that sort of thing, this is a really smart and well-made film dealing with that kind of subject matter. Moving on, this is, again, like I had mentioned earlier, this is Volume 3 of The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. This was the final 22 episodes of the show, so happy to round out that show. I'll be getting to those at some point in my life. Another Blu-ray. This is one that I wanted to scoop up, and there was a slight decrease in the price. It dropped to $18.99. It's a really, really beautiful edition of the film. It's a digibook of the original King Kong film, so really happy to have that. These digibooks, some of them are hit or miss, but this one is definitely a pleasure to have. The next 5 or so are midnight movie titles again. This is The Phantom from 10,000 Leagues and The Beast with a Million Eyes. The Phantom from 10,000 Leagues is the one that I actually watched, and it is your typical underwater horror film, 1950s schlock, but it's fun. It's a lot of fun, actually. I enjoyed it a lot. It's certainly no Creature from the Black Lagoon. Creature from the Black Lagoon is by far the best, but yeah, this one is definitely just a film that's kind of riding off the coattails of the success of that film, but this is still a lot of fun too, if you don't take things like that too seriously at all. Next double feature is one that just looked cool, and I think this was like $7 or so. This is Young Gary and Conga, so this is pretty cool. Next one is Gorilla at Large and Mystery on Monster Island, which is interesting because these are like two films that they're just decades different. Gorilla at Large is from 1954, and Mystery on Monster Island is from 1981, so it should be cool to cut into that one to just kind of see how those two films play back to back with one another. The next one is actually one that was never produced in a double feature. This is one of the few that was actually put on a single disc all by itself, and this is Richard Boone in I Bury the Living. I think I scooped this up for less than $4, actually, so from what I've heard, it's actually really good, too. And the final Midnight Movies one that I got is one that I've been wanting to get for a while, too, and this is The Beast Within and The Bat People. I've heard tons of great things about The Beast Within. I think that's actually a film that had a really early Stan Winston makeup effects, if I'm not mistaken. Could be wrong on that, though. Next one I got was one that's not really, it doesn't really showcase some of the more popular Hammer films, but I kind of liked that, and that kind of intrigued me about it. It was kind of a different, you know, just not your typical Hammer film. So this is the Icons of Horror Collection Hammer films. It's 4 films in one collection. This is The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, Scream of Fear, and The Two Faces of Dr. Jekyll and the Gorgon, which, from what I understand, had never been released on DVD up until this collection. So, yeah, I mean, take that for what it is. I mean, if you guys are fans of this film, but if for anything else, it's cool to just have the Gorgon since it had never gotten a release before. I can't speak for the other ones. I just know the Gorgon was definitely one of them. I just got this recently from Shout Factory. I never watched this show, but I had been dying to see it, so I scooped this up the day it came out. And this is the complete series of Mask. It comes in these 2 DVDs, volumes 1 through 3 and volumes 4 through 6. This has all 65 original episodes on 12 discs. So yeah, this looks like a lot of fun, really cool packaging and whatnot. Only the best from Shout Factory. And of course, Shout Factory keeping up their Nickelodeon line of the old school shows. They've put out season 1 in a 4-disc set of Hey Arnold, one of my favorite shows from the mid to late 90s. This was definitely towards the end of the classic Nick days, but they still managed to, put out some quality stuff towards the end of that reign. Again, from Shout Factory, they've been pumping these out too, which I'm really happy about, so it looks like we'll be able to see, hopefully, the entire run of this show out. And this is the 3rd season of Webster. I loved this show. I pretty much banged through the entire 1st season pretty quickly, so I'll definitely get through these. I think season 4 is scheduled for like November already, from what I understand. But yeah, I think there was 6 or 7 seasons altogether, so it's cool to see that they're keeping up on these. So it's always good to make sure that the sales remain high to ensure that future seasons continue being put out. Back to some Blu-rays, some Disney Blu-rays actually. This is the 30th anniversary edition. This is actually a 2-movie collection of The Fox and the Hound and The Fox and the Hound 2. I haven't heard the greatest things, actually, about the quality on The Fox and the Hound. The Fox and the Hound 2's quality is actually a lot better than the original Fox and the Hound, which is kind of a shame because, especially with Disney, I've just been kind of become accustomed to just perfection in all of their transfers. So it was kind of a shame to read that they weren't up to par, but that's just what I read. This has nothing to do with my personal feelings on it because I haven't checked it out yet. But yeah, it was kind of sucky to hear that. The next one I got is the Blu-ray DVD of Image Movers Digital's last film with the Disney Studios, and that's Mars Needs Moms. I know this film tanked during its original theatrical release, but I've been, kind of championing this one ever since I saw it in theaters. This movie was a lot of fun and definitely didn't deserve the flack that it got, and definitely the low theater attendance for it, because it was really a quality film. The animation was excellent in it, but I'm happy to say that it doesn't look like Image Movers Digital is going to be gone forever. I think Universal Studios is actually nearing a deal to join forces with them, or the deal might be closed already, so that's good to know that Image Movers isn't just going to fade away now. I got a double feature from Code Red, although this isn't officially part of the spined releases. This is a double feature of Stoney and The Killer Likes Candy. These both looked pretty interesting, and this is a new set of double features that they're unrolling out over the next 2 weeks or so, so I wanted to scoop these up. Next one I got is some new Blu-ray DVD combo of a Muppets movie. And this is The Muppets Take Manhattan, their 1984 film, so I'm happy to have that one. They actually coincided that with another one that is the Muppets from Space. It's kind of odd that since the new Muppets movie is coming out in November that they wouldn't put the original Muppet movie out first, but I guess it might just be a thing with rights. Maybe the other films are owned by other companies. Before I jump into the next batch, I just realized that I had made a slight mistake in the categorizing of them. I didn't show this, and it was right in front of me. This is actually the Blu-ray box set of the Planet of the Apes. This is the 40-year evolution. It's a huge box set, but it looks big, but it's really not as huge and obnoxious on a shelf as you would think. I thought it was going to be way bigger, so that's kind of nice to know that it's not the biggest shelf hog possible. Like, you could definitely slip it into a shelf, and it just kind of looks like a book on the shelf, which it is, but this comes with all 5 films. But yeah, sorry I didn't show this before, so the listing is going to be a little messed up in the info box, but I just wanted to show this because this was a pretty cool purchase. The next one I got is, again, one of those double features from Code Red, but not officially spined. This is a Lawless Land double feature of Cutthroats 9 and Joshua. Cutthroats 9 was awesome. I caught a 35mm print of it this past May, and I believe the same 35mm print that I saw is the one that's on this DVD, but it's a really killer, violent Western. It's really good, and coming from somebody that doesn't absolutely love Westerns, this is a really good one that I, could recommend to anybody. This just came out today from Shout Factory, and this is Season 5 of Spin City. This is the first season to have Charlie Sheen in it, right after Michael J. Fox departed, and I think that there's one more season to go. I think Charlie took over for only 2 seasons before it got officially canceled. And these ones just came in. These were just some impulse buys of some childhood films that I grew up loving and watching. I got them late in the day today. The first one I got for $5. This is Macaulay Culkin and Richie Rich. I think this might be one of the last, Macaulay Culkin child films during his heyday that I didn't own, so I'm really happy to finally have this one because I loved this film. A Daniel Stern classic, in my opinion. I love this film. This is Bushwhacked. This film is so funny. If you guys have never seen it, this is just, quality mid-90s fun for kids. And this is actually from Walt Disney Pictures. I loved the shit out of this movie, too, growing up, and this is Blank Check. I loved this film. I'm sure plenty of people that grew up in the 90s can share my enthusiasm with me on this one, but yeah, this is a fun one. And the final thing that I got in this collection was another impulse buy. I know that all of these shorts are actually out. I think they're in, there's 8 volumes of them, so I'm happy to say that I picked up the first one for only $13.99. So this is Volume 1 of the Three Stooges collection, 1934 to 1936. This actually houses, this is all digitally remastered of their first 19 theatrical shorts, all in their original release order. So this is really cool for anybody getting started or getting interested in the Three Stooges, just start it off with this one and just kind of go down the line. So really cool to have that. Well, guys, thanks again for tuning in to another one of my DVD updates. It's always fun to shoot these things, and I'll see you guys in probably about another month for the next round of DVDs and Blu-rays. Until then, thanks again for tuning in. This has been Frightener22.